All right. Well, Michael Baxter is just having a lot of fun. He's dropped 3 articles on me. Two today, one, I don't know, late last night. So I wasn't able to do it until I got to it today. Didn't know it existed until today. This doesn't have the general's voice, which I've already done too many times today. And that's why it exists. But it also exists because it's going to allow me to practice when I do the real version that has the general's voice, probably, unless there's no place for the general's voice. And that happens sometimes. So, and I have to change vocabulary words so that the evil YouTube algorithm doesn't automatically delete this. But even that doesn't save these things from getting deleted and prevent me from getting a strike from the Antichrist known as Alphabet, known as Google and YouTube, and what have you. Because if there's a spy and a little Satan's helper in the audience, and they complain, or they say, "Hey, it violates community standards," and they report it, then a couple of days later, when it gets in front of you, human eyes, then it gets deleted, and then I get the strike. Sorry about. I'm not going to answer this right now. I'll turn off my phone right now. All right. Okay. Inoculated pilots dropping dead mid-flight by Michael Baxter, October 27th, 2021. Pilots of Southwest Airlines and other major U.S. carriers have good reason for resisting inoculation mandates. Their fellow pilots who had taken the controversial inoculation have been dropping dead on both domestic and international flights. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Jane Ruby claimed on the Stu Peters show that a Delta Airlines pilot died in flight shortly after the pilot had received a second dose of the inoculation. The mainstream media, Delta, and so-called fact-checking agencies quickly dismissed the claim, calling it false and unsubstantiated, mainly because the claimant did not supply the name of the pilot, the flight number, or the points of origin and destination for the flight. Nonetheless, Real Raw News felt the issue deserved further investigation. Although we cannot authenticate Dr. Ruby's specific incident, we learned that at least 2 freshly inoculated pilots had dropped dead mid-flight within weeks of having received a whistleblower speaking under condition of anonymity told Real Raw News that the Biden administration, the FAA, and the airlines are covering up the incidents because the airlines need ticket sales and because the administration wants to maintain the illusion that inoculations are safe and effective. According to him, 2 American airline pilots in 14 days have perished in the cockpit. On October 15th, American Airlines Flight 2740, an Airbus A320, was en route from Dallas Fort Worth International Airport to Fort Myers when the unthinkable happened. As the plane began a gradual descent toward southwest Florida, the pilot in command began convulsing and had a cardiac arrest. Unfortunately, the aircraft was still on autopilot, giving the co-pilot time to evaluate the situation, unharness himself, pull the pilot in command from his seat, and try to administer CPR. But his efforts were in vain. Co-pilot returned to his seat and squawked 7700, the international transponder code for "I have an emergency." The plane landed safely, but the co-pilot was put on administrative leave for having left his seat and endangering the aircraft. Our source said, it was later determined that the pilot in charge had a fatal heart attack caused by myocarditis, a known side effect of the inoculation. He had received his second dose of the inoculation 2 weeks before that flight. His last full physical was 3 months prior, and his doctor had given him a clean bill of health. Our source said the second fatality took place a week later, and it too was a DFW departure. Dallas Fort Worth. American Airlines Flight 971, an Airbus A321, departed Dallas Fort Worth for Los Angeles at 8 a.m. Midway through the flight, the co-pilot complained he had chest pains, but chalked it up to having eaten a spicy meal before departure. He told the pilot in charge it was indigestion. As the plane flew at 32,000 feet over the New Mexico-Arizona state line, the co-pilot started convulsing and vomiting on the flight controls. At that point, the pilot in charge contacted air traffic control, requesting permission to swing around and make an emergency landing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But air traffic control, after apparently consulting American Airlines, denied the request and compelled the pilot in charge to complete the flight to Los Angeles. The co-pilot died in his chair, also from acute myocarditis. He had gotten his second inoculation, the prize fighter, the P fizzer, 21 days ahead of that fateful flight. The one that I've been told can track you. The pilot in charge was put under a gag order and told not to discuss the incident with anyone under threat of losing his job. Our source said, there is a systematic effort going on right now to prevent the public from knowing about pilots getting very ill or very dead in the air. The airlines don't want to lose the money, and the administration doesn't want the public to know the true dangers of the inoculation. I know for a fact Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg ordered the airlines to classify incidents involving pilot deaths. In closing, he added that he is aware of at least 12 non-fatal incidents involving pilots that had recently taken the inoculation. So, love God and try to be good. And I'm just going to upload this one once it's, vetted or whatever. I'm just going to upload this one over on Tom Youngjohn 3. No, I won't. I guess I have to do a teaser for it. So I have to do a teaser for it on Tom Youngjohn 3 because I've had a strike there and I'm trying to avoid at all costs another strike there. So I'm going to upload it over at Tom Youngjohn 4. Tom space Youngjohn space the number 4. And I'll do a teaser on Tom Youngjohn 3. But I can't really upload it until it gets through the system. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let's see.